Okay, students, last time we discussed about one of the government economic objective, that was low level of unemployment, and what government does to control unemployment, right? Because government wants to have a low level of unemployment. We discussed about different types of unemployment as well. And when government takes action to control unemployment, what would be the impact on different businesses? Because that is the major section which we need to focus on while writing answers, the impact on businesses. We have covered that. Now there is another economic objective, government economic objective rather, that is stable balance of payment, or you can say favorable balance of payment. We talked about it uh, very little in the previous class. So balance of payment, it basically records the total value of exports and total value of imports of the country, right? And I told you that the money you get from other countries, that is what we call exports, and the money you pay to other countries, that is what we call imports, right? So the value of import and export is recorded in the balance of payment. Now we'll discuss why government wants to have a stable balance of payment or a favorable balance of payment. Now there is a difference between a stable balance of payment and a favorable balance of payment. Stable balance of payment means that there should not be too much fluctuation sorry, in the balance of payment. Why? Because if there are sometimes exports get too high or imports get too high, there is a problem. Do you know what is the problem? If there is too much fluctuation going on in the balance of payment, can anybody tell me what could be the problem? Why government wants to have a stable balance of payment? Anyone? Abdullah Tayyib, can you answer that?
No, sir, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Ali Tarar, can you? Mohammed?
Because if it's not stable, it will negatively affect either exports or imports.
Okay, all right. So now my question is, for
Sir,
example, yeah, please.
Sir, the government wants a stable balance of payment in order to avoid exchange rate fluctuations, which would lead to a reduction in investments.
Very good, Abdullah Wes. Yes, bullseye. You hit the right target. So basically, if there is too much fluctuation in balance of payment, it will have a direct effect on exchange rate. And you know that one of the government economic objective is exchange rate stability. So if there is export is increasing and it keeps on increasing, so what will happen? Demand for our currency will increase. Do you remember? Okay, and we discussed that. We discussed the mechanism in detail in the previous classes. So when the demand of the currency of our currency will increase, our currency will appreciate. So the people of other countries will find it expensive to buy from our country because now our currency is expensive for them. So what will happen? When exports will get too high, the time will come when people will stop buying exports because now they are expensive because of exchange rate appreciation. So then our exports will start going down. So government does not want it to happen. Similarly, if imports get too high, what will happen? When we keep on buying imports from other countries, so it means we will keep on supplying our currency, right? And you know that when we keep supplying our currency, there will be an exchange rate depreciation in our currency. And when this happens, what will happen? The imports will get expensive, and we won't be able to buy imports. Some people might argue that it is a good sign if people won't buy imports, but there is a problem. There are certain imports which are essential to buy. For example, fuel, okay, capital goods. So in that case, you have to buy them, but now you have to pay more to the other country. Why? Because your exchange rate has gone down. It has depreciated. So there will be a problem. And then you have to pay a lot of money to other countries to buy the same amount of goods which you were buying earlier because of exchange rate depreciation. And then what will happen? Then you have to borrow money from World Bank, from Asian Development Bank, right? From International Monetary Fund, that is IMF. So that is why then the the economy or the country will be highly in debt, and that is the case with Pakistan as well, because Pakistan does not have too much exports. All right, so that is why the country or the government of the country wants to have a stable balance of payment. A favorable balance of payment uh, can be beneficial for a short time period. For example, if you have um, higher imports and lower exports, so obviously you want your exports to come equal to imports or to go above than your imports, so that you may get more money than the money you are paying to other countries. So it will increase your foreign reserves. And why foreign reserves are important? Because when you buy from other countries, you have to pay them in foreign currency. So if you already have foreign currency reserves, you do not need to buy foreign currency. So it will be easier for you. But if you won't have foreign currency reserves, then you have to buy foreign currency first, right? And what will happen? When you buy foreign currency, the demand for foreign currency will increase and it will appreciate. And then it will be expensive for us to buy goods from other countries. So that is why favorable balance of payment is also beneficial, because it increases the foreign exchange reserves of the country. I hope you understand. So that is why it is an important economic objective set by the government. Now let's discuss favorable balance of payment. You know that, but um, Abiya Fatma, can you answer that? What is favorable balance of payment?
सर मतलब पॉजिटिव बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट ना.
Absolutely right. Very good. Favorable balance of payment means when the value of exports is greater than the value of imports. So more money is coming into the country and less money is going out of the country, resulting in greater foreign currency reserves, which is a good sign for a country. Then we have deficit balance of payment as well. That is exactly opposite of it, and it might be suitable for certain countries, but for a short time period only. Why? Because you know that when you have a deficit balance of payment, you have a greater value of imports compared to your value of exports. So more money is going out of the country and less money is coming into the country. And to buy imports, you have to use your foreign currency reserves. So they will be consumed faster if you have higher imports, right? So, but for a short time period, it might be beneficial. Why? Because, for example, if you are buying capital goods for a short time period, you want to buy latest technology from other countries so that you can use it in your country to produce more. It will help you to increase your GDP. So there will be more economic growth, right? So for short time period, if it happens, it's fine. Why? Because in the longer run, you will be producing more and you will be exporting to other parts of the world, and that will help you to reduce your deficit balance of payment, right? So it means deficit balance of payment is not always, you can say, uh, uh, in a negative way. We can explain that we say that no, it is not good for the economy. So it at times it is good for the economy, especially in the short run. So now, effect of deficit balance of payment. Let's see. We did discuss few of the effects of it. Now, if there is deficit balance of payment, exchange rate depreciates. I discussed it with you. And why? Because when there is deficit balance of payment, there is more imports, less exports, right? So it means that in order to buy more imports, you have to supply your currency. When you supply your currency, your exchange rate goes down. And this is what we call exchange rate depreciation. And why it is not good? Now to buy the same amount of goods from other countries, you have to pay more. So that is why it's not good. Fall in foreign currency reserves. I discussed that as well. So if country has foreign currency reserves, they will be consumed quickly. Why? Because now you have higher imports. So the money you are getting from other countries in the form of exports, they are not much or not sufficient to meet the expenditure of your imports which you are buying from other countries. So eventually the reserves you have of foreign currency, they will run out. or they will start coming down. And that's not a good sign for the economy, because if it happens, then you have to buy foreign currency. And then you know what happens, that the exchange rate of that currency appreciates, and then it becomes expensive for you to buy from other countries. Okay, foreign investors hesitate to invest. Now, this is before I explain, I want you to explain, because I know that you have sufficient knowledge of exchange rate. So, Faizan, can you contribute? Foreign investors hesitate to invest. Why, when there is deficit balance of payment?
सर आपकी जो आपकी करेंसी है वो फ्लक्चुएट होती रहती है, तो उनको फिर वो एक सेफ्टी नहीं मिलती है कि इन्वेस्ट करेंगे तो कल को हमारी अगर करेंसी डीवैल्यू हो गई तो फिर
All right, yeah, that's right. So yes, it's about fluctuation as well, but because we are talking about deficit only, so we won't use the word
Sir,
fluctuation.
when
Just
the
a minute,
currency is
just
depreciated.
appreciated. Okay, just hold on, Ali.
Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we cannot use the word fluctuation. Why? Because fluctuation can be in the form of appreciation or in the form of depreciation. But because we are talking about deficit balance of payment, so we'll only talk about depreciation. Why? So when there is deficit balance of payment, so people from other countries won't like to invest in our country. The reason is because our currency is depreciating. So whatever they invest now, they won't get the same amount in the future. Why? Because the the country where they are investing in, their currency is depreciating. So for example, if dollar is converted into rupees and rupee is depreciating, for example, so after some time, when they want to get their money back from Pakistan, obviously they will get a smaller amount. When they will convert it in dollars, they will get fewer dollars. Why? Because rupee is depreciating. So no businessman wants to invest in a country where there is exchange rate depreciation going on. Yes, if it happens for a short time period, it's fine. Why? Because if exchange rate depreciation is there, it is an ideal time to invest in that business, right? Because you spend little, but are able to invest more in that country. But if appreciation happens continuously, then there is a problem, because when you will get the return in the form of profit from that country and you convert it in your own currency because you live abroad, you will get a very small amount. So that is why the investors, they hesitate, because they do not know the trend of it, whether there will be a depreciation for a shorter time period or a longer time period. So that is why investment doesn't come to country. And you know that investment from foreign countries is very crucial for the economic growth of a country, because foreign investment is huge and it helps in increasing the level of GDP in the country, and it provides employment to people as well. Okay, then exchange rate fluctuation happens. Okay, effect of deficit balance payment, we discussed that. Now, what happens to exchange rate fluctuation? Exchange rate effect of exchange rate appreciation on exporters and importers. We discussed that in the class when we discussed about exchange rate stability. Still, I'll give you some idea, although you, I think, already familiar with it. So when there will be deficit balance of payment, there will be exchange rate. What will happen? Effect of exchange rate appreciation now, right, on exporters and importers. So when there will be appreciation, okay, because depreciation we discussed that. Now, if there is appreciation, who will suffer and who will get the benefit? Exporter or importer? I want Aisha Siddiqa to answer, because we did cover that in the other class. Aisha, can you answer that? Aisha Siddiqa, are you there? Aisha, please answer. Rabia Malik, please. I repeat my question. Yes, Fazan, you want to say something? Yes, Rabia Malik. Tuba Nasir, can you answer? Yes,
सर क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर सकते हैं?
my who will gain and who will suffer? We did discuss that.
सर मुझे आपका क्वेश्चन समझ नहीं आया क्योंकि मेरा वाईफाई बहुत आपकी आवाज़ बीच में ब्रेक हो गई थी।
Okay, all right. My question is, if there is exchange rate appreciation going on in a country, so how would it have an impact on exporters and importers?
सर एक्सपोर्ट्स गिर जाएंगी क्योंकि हमारी एक्सपोर्ट्स जो हैं वो एक्सपेंसिव हो जाएंगी क्योंकि हमारी करेंसी जो है वो
Or for other countries, right?
या
Okay, and what about importers?
सर इंपोर्ट्स बढ़ जाएंगी
Why?
क्योंकि हम लोग की जो मतलब जो इंपोर्ट्स है वो हमारे लिए चीपर होंगी ना।
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Perfect answer. So, when exchange rate appreciation happens, people from other countries they stop buying from our country. Why? Because now it is expensive for them to buy. But it happens only when they have an option, right? So, for example, if this is the normal scenario, right? And importers uh, they get the benefit. Why? Because if you are an importer and you buy cars and now your exchange rate appreciates, right? So now you are able to buy cars cheaply. Okay, so your cost of buying cars will be low, but you will be able to sell the car to the people at the same price. So this will increase the profit for importing businesses because they'll be able to buy cheaply from other countries. Why I'm discussing that? Because finally we have to show the impact of these changes on businesses. So I keep on reminding you, our main focus is on businesses. Whatever happens in the economy, how it would have an impact on businesses, right? So exporting businesses will suffer. So it depends that whether in the case study they are talking about exporting business or an importing business, then we can develop the point accordingly. Okay, but do remember, for example, if a country is good in producing one of the product, in fact, the best in the business in the whole world. So in that case, if exchange rate appreciation happens, the other people do not have any option who live in other countries because we produce the best quality, right? So in that case, even if there is exchange rate appreciation, they will keep on buying, right? Because the demand will become inelastic. Although you do not need, if you do not know this concept, still it's fine. Huh? So the general scenario is exchange rate appreciation. Whenever it happens, it actually discourages exporters, right? And it encourages importers. And we discussed that why. Then effect of exchange rate depreciation on exporters and importers. We discussed that as well. The exactly opposite of it will happen that exporters will gain, they will be encouraged, and importers will suffer and they will be discouraged, right? Okay, any question regarding it from any of the student?
सर स्क्रीन नहीं शो हो रही है आपकी।
Screen show nahi ho rahi. Okay, just a minute. Let me see. Now, can you see it?
No, sir.
नो सर।
Okay, I can see it on my mobile. Okay, all right. Let me do it again. Okay, all right. Now, can you see it?
यस सर।
All right. So, we have discussed all the points in this slide. We have talked about favorable balance of payment, deficit balance of payment, the effect of deficit balance of payment, and finally we discussed if there is exchange rate fluctuation, and and we did discuss that the exchange rate fluctuation happens because of changes happening in the balance of payment, right? So exchange rate fluctuation has a direct link with balance of payment because when we deal in goods which come from other countries, so we are involved in exchange in foreign currency, right? So it has an impact on exchange rate as well. All right. So then we talked about that Exchange rate appreciation has an impact on exporters and importers, and exchange rate depreciation also has an impact on exporters and importers. Any question regarding that? No question? So we can move on, right? Okay, now, so we have covered now all the government economic objectives, right? And how government tries to control them and how they have an impact on different businesses. Okay, now we'll talk about international competitiveness. Now, because uh, in modern world we do not have a competition with local firms, we have a competition with all other firms who are operating in different parts of the world. Okay, and we need to compete them strongly, and for that we need to be competitive. We need to have certain unique areas where we can be better than them, and this is what we call international competitiveness. For that we can focus on different areas. It's up to you which area you focus on. First is price. So if you are able to reduce your price level, so it might be the area you can focus on, because you can compete with other foreign firms in the international market on the basis of price. For example, you have a very low cost of producing an item. Okay, so you will be able to charge a lower price. So it will give you a competitive advantage. So this will be your international competitiveness. People would like to buy from you, but you can only compete on price basis when you have a strong area in that, like you have a lower cost, you are able to achieve high level of economies of scale. If this area is not strong, your controlling cost, then you can't use you can't compete on price basis. Then we have another area you can focus on as a businessman, that is product design and innovation. So if you are able to produce a product with attractive design and you are able to come up with uh, updated models or an entirely new product which is not available in the world or in the other parts of the country, then it means you have an edge and you can compete on that basis. So in that case, you might not be able to charge a lower price, but now price does not matter. Why? Because now your product is different from other products, even in the international market. Okay. Now think about China. What China is doing? China is selling its goods to the whole world, right? And why they are doing it and what is the advantage they have is the price they charge. So that is why they are focusing on that. Rather than focusing on quality, they focused on price because they know that this is their strong area. Okay, now if I talk about product design and innovation, so you can say we know that Japanese technology is very famous throughout the world. So they every now and then they come up with new innovation. Okay, so in that case, now their main focus is not price. Their focus is their design and innovation. So now they are able to charge a higher price. Still, they stay competitive. Okay. Uh, just a minute. All right. So the third area a business can focus on, that is quality of construction and reliability. Now, quality of construction means that the material which was used in the product, whether it is of good quality. Okay, now quality of, for example, you buy a house. Okay, so it looks good, but the quality of the material used in that house is not good, and after some time you realize that now there is a problem. Why? Because uh, the cement is not sticking to the walls. Okay, so now your walls are getting your I mean the metal material or the furniture is getting rusty. getting older quickly. So if this happens, so there is a problem there. So if there's a quality of construction there, like the material you use and the way you build up the product, okay, it gives assurance to the customers that it will stay in the same manner for years. And that is why all uh, good businesses, famous businesses, they give guarantee. Sometimes they give lifetime guarantee as well. So it means it is linked with reliability. Reliability now, what does it mean? Now, quality of construction, you understand that it gives you durability, right? It gives you comfort as well, right? So it means, for example, if I say uh, Hummer, so you know that there is Hummer produces Jeep as well. So there is Prado there, there's Fortuner there, Land Cruiser, right? But if we talk about quality of construction, so maybe Hummer is far expensive than the cars I mentioned. Why? Because of quality of construction there. It's very wide if I talk about Hummer Jeep. And if I talk about reliability, it means that it's about what? That it you must be able to use it in the same manner for years. That the quality must remain there for a longer time period. Okay. For example, if it's about a machine, so it means that machine must give the same result to the business for years. You buy machinery because now we have to come to the point where businesses come into play, right? So if we talk about machinery, so machinery is reliable means every time you produce a product, it gives the same result. So we'll say this machine is reliable, right? So the quality standard of all the products will be the same if reliability is there. So some businesses they focus on their quality of construction and reliability. So it may increase their cost, but again their focus is not price. So they may charge a higher price because they can promote their product as a high quality product and the most reliable product. In that way, they can stay competitive in the market as well. Effective promotion and extensive distribution. Some businesses they rely on that as well to stay competitive. Now, effective promotion. Before I explain that, I want somebody to answer that. What is effective promotion? Because we discussed that in A1 as well. Okay, Mia Ahmed. Mia Ahmed, can you tell me what is effective promotion? Mia Ahmed, are you there? Mugiz,
जी सर जी
Ahmed, do you know what is promotion?
प्रमोशन का तो पता है इफेक्टिव का नहीं पता
Means Mukarram.
ऐसा सर आई थिंक ऐसा ऐड जिसको जिससे लोग एक्चुअली वो आइटम बाय करके
Okay, all right, good. Mukarram, yes, you are right. Now remember, I told you whenever we use the word effective, it means that you are able to achieve your target. So when we talk about promotion, let's say we talk about advertisement. So whenever you design an advertisement, you set an objective first, right? Because the objective of an advertisement can be different. It can be to create awareness among the people, right? It can be to create an image of the product, right? It can be to inform people about the availability of the product. So it can be, or it can be to remove any confusion regarding the product. Okay. So first you set the objective of promotion and then you design it, right? So if you are able to achieve your objective, we call it effective promotion. For example, the objective of your advertisement was to increase your sales by 10%. So you show advertisement on TV, for example, and you finally achieve the increase in 10% of your sales within couple of months. So it means your promotion was effective. Simple as that. Okay, so it means it's not so some businesses they do not focus on promotion only, they focus on effective promotion. So it means they cannot spend their money on promotion without thinking that okay, we have to advertise because we have to tell people. No, not at all. You have to set a target and then you have to achieve that target. So okay, then an extensive distribution. So when you promote your product and you tell people that it is available, it is of high quality, and it is better than other products, for example, this is your target, and you advertise in that way, then your product must be available in all areas from where your potential customers can buy easily or conveniently. So extensive distribution can help increase your sales. So it can be an advantage for certain businesses because all businesses they do not like to put their product in every nook and corner, right? But if you make your product available everywhere from where people can buy, so it can work as an advantage, and it help you boost your sales because now people do not want to go far away from their house to buy a different brand. They say, all right, this brand is available and it's convenient for us to buy, so they buy from there. So it helps you to increase your sales and you stay competitive. But for that, if you extensively distribute your product, you need to effectively promote your product as well. Because if you do not effectively promote it, people might not get the image you want to create, and then they may not buy from you even if it is available nearby their house. So this is another area which which the businesses can focus on to stay competitive. Then after sales service, you know that whenever businesses they give, and what is after sales service? This is service after sales. Simple as that. When you buy something, okay, sales happen, right? You pay a price and you get the good. But now sometimes they say, okay, we'll deliver it at your doorstep, okay, free of cost. This is after sales service, right? Similarly, if they say you can take it to your own house, we won't deliver it to you. But if something happens to the product, we will be responsible. We will repair the parts of the product or we will replace the whole product. This is again after sales service. So you know that whenever after sales service is provided, for example, in the form of guarantee or warranty, so it means that people feel that the product is of high quality, and that is why they are giving the guarantee, right? And you must know that there is a difference between guarantee and warranty. Guarantee is when you can claim the whole product. For example, if now your product is not working, for example, you buy a DC inverter, right? And now after a month it's not working, the cooling is not proper. So you can replace the whole product. In that case, DC inverter. This is warranty. Sorry, guarantee. Warranty is when if something happens, the officials they come to your place and they check the product, the AC, and if they find that there is some part which is not working properly, they get it repaired. Okay, they take it to their workshop or they repair it right there at your place. So this is warranty. So again, you can have an advantage and you can stay competitive. For example, if your brand name is not good or you are not able to charge a lower price, your design is not very attractive, doesn't matter. But if you have after sales service, you can compete with other rival businesses on that basis as well after sales. And people may like to buy from you because of that feature you added in that. Then investment in trained staff and modern technology. Okay, one more thing. You know that free installation is also part of after sales service. Free installation. If company offers that okay, we'll install your DC inverter free of cost. This is also after sales service. But if you hire a person to install your AC, that is not an after sales service because you have to pay a price for it. Investment in trained staff and modern technology. So again, now you can do that as well. That you can have qualified staff by providing them regular training, right? So that they will be able to answer every single question of the customer. They'll be able to tell people what is the right product for them, especially those products which are very expensive and highly technical. So they can give every possible information to the customers, and customers will be pleased, and they may buy from the same shop or the business. So, and use of modern technology is also important, because when you use modern technology, it can be used in two ways. One, technology used in the product by consumers, and technology used to produce that product. So both can be an advantage for a business. For example, you have the latest machinery and you are able to produce products quickly without any error, without making a mistake. So the wastage is not there, so cost goes down. Again, your productivity goes up, so you do not need to hire more workers again. Wage cost is low as well. And if you are able to use the technology, for example, if I talk about cell phones or cars, so you know that every now and then we see an added feature in our electronic gadgets or in our cars. So if a company which keeps on adding new technology in the products, which later can be used by the consumers, again, that is a competitive advantage over other rival businesses. So by focusing on that area, the business can stay competitive as well. Okay, all right. So I'll stop here, and I'll talk about the macroeconomic policies in the next class. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next class.